Warning, if you plan on taking Adderall or Vyvanse because you feel you have ADHD or ADD, please watch this whole video. I will bring up all of the points I wish I knew before I started taking either prescription. I quickly learned that Adderall was not for me. Vyvanse was way more calming and made me still feel like myself, so I ended up going with that one. One last note before I get to the negatives and side effects: make sure you take this medication in the morning if you do end up taking it. Don't take it after 10 a.m. or afternoon, because it could end up still being in your bloodstream late at night and you could end up staying up really late just having thoughts racing through your mind. Other than that, here are the side effects and negatives that I felt with Adderall and Vyvanse. Once you begin this medication, you will no longer want to eat. Food is no longer fun for me. I see food as energy now, and the only reason I eat it is to keep my body going. Before I took Adderall or Vyvanse, I used to love eating food, and that is no longer the case. Throughout the first year that I was on Vyvanse, I dropped from 192 pounds to 160. Now let that sink in. I am 6'3", and an average weight for a 6'3" male is anywhere from 192 to 205. That was not healthy at all. If you plan on taking either medication, make sure you plan out what you're gonna eat and stick with it. It took me well over a year and a half to maybe even 2 years just to get my eating plan down to where I am now, and just to get back to 187 as my weight, which I currently am at. The way I personally plan it out is I make sure I eat the biggest meal of my day in the morning. The reason for that is because after that, you will no longer want to eat that big for the rest of the day. Get up early and have something planned or cook something in the morning, and right before you eat that meal that you've cooked or you had pre-planned, make sure that you take the medicine right before, because if you take the medicine first before the food, it will enter your system first and the food will not block it. If you eat too much before you take the pill, it could end up all going in at the same time, and because of that, it will not have the same effects. Adderall usually takes around 20 minutes to hit you, while Vyvanse takes anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. Recognize this and plan accordingly. If you have a job that requires you to stay out of your house throughout the entire day, make sure you pre-plan and bring a lunch and like other snacks, because if you don't, you will never talk yourself into going out to get food. Throughout the day, your body and your stomach will tell you, hey, I'm hungry, like feed me right now. But your brain, while it's on Vyvanse or Adderall, will tell you the complete opposite. It'll tell you don't need that food, and it'll tell you to keep going without it. It'll continuously throughout the day talk you out of going to get that food that you know you need. Make sure, I'm saying this for a second time, make sure you bring a lunch and snacks, because if you do not, you will not eat, I promise you. And on top of that, when you bring that lunch and those snacks, force yourself to eat it no matter how bad you don't want to. You may think today's different and that you don't need to eat it today, but trust me, just eat it. Eat that food. You'll thank yourself later when you're not 30 pounds underweight like I was. And lastly, make sure you drink a lot of water, especially when you're exercising. This is very important. If you do not drink water, you'll start getting lightheaded throughout the day, and this can affect you very badly. No matter how bad you want to get with this girl or guy, or no matter how bad you want to get with your significant other, it's just not going to happen. If you took your medicine and it is still within the hours of it working, you're not going to have sex drive that entire time. Even some days after it wears off, you still won't have that drive. Make sure you understand this before you take it, and make sure your significant other, if you have one, understands this too, because if you don't, it can cause problems. The reasoning for the low sex drive is because this medicine thins your blood, and when it thins your blood only goes to the important parts of your body, like your heart or your brain. Because of this, it will stop flowing to your sex organs and even your toes and your fingers. This is why a lot of people complain that they're very cold in their toes or their fingers when they take this medicine. It's because the blood isn't reaching those areas if you're not continuously moving them. This one's short and simple. Once you begin this medicine, it'll take you a while to get used to it. Let anyone that you see a lot know about this side effect. You will be very short-tempered, you will not want to talk to anybody, and every person that is around you will come off as very annoying. Everything that you drink will go right through you. And sadly, the second the medicine hits you every day, you'll have to rush right to the bathroom and go number 2, aka take a poop. The medicine always wants your body cleared out so it can take over completely. This is why it doesn't want you to eat. This is why you have to consistently go pee. And this is why every time that you take the medicine and it hits you, that you have to go take a poop. Accept all of these as facts, and this will go a lot smoother for you. Last but definitely not least, this is the biggest one. You will become so into your mind sometimes that it's hard to carry on relationships. You will be so focused on yourself and continuously trying to get better that sometimes you will ignore your relationships. That being your actual relationship with your significant other and your friendships. It can become all about yourself and bettering yourself so much that you end up blocking out every single person in your life. Don't get me wrong, this can be a good thing because it can show you some of the bad traits of the people around you. But at the end of the day, it can realistically be a lot worse because you'll just end up pushing everybody in your life away. For me, I personally believe it was a better thing because I'm really into self-improving and becoming a better person. But for a lot of people, it's a different story. Trust me, it's good to get rid of the bad in your life, but every person in the world has bad traits. And sometimes it's just about recognizing those bad traits and helping them instead of pushing them away. Now that all the negatives are out of the way, let's get to how it changed my life. If you can plan for all of the negatives and outsmart them, the positives will be 1,000,000 times worth it. I won't go into too much detail on all the positives because there's a lot, but here's how the medicine changed me for the better. Before, I could never keep a job longer than 3 months, and now I've had the same job for over 2 years. I began playing poker and following my dreams in 2017, which was about a year into me starting taking it, and I ended up winning about $51,000 from that, and I was able to focus so well that my poker game became better and I became better, and money came with that. It helps me think in different ways and problem solve better. I'm able to look at problems now and just fix them or understand them a lot better than I used to. If you have ADHD or ADD like me, well, you don't really ever want to get out of bed. This medicine will definitely change that. It'll give you a reason to get out of bed. You feel so different. It's so much different from that just depressing feeling of I don't really feel like getting out today. It'll definitely change that. It makes me want to go to the gym now. Before, I never even wanted to step foot in a gym. Actually, I don't think I ever stepped foot into a gym. But once I started taking this medicine, I'm in the gym all the time now. You will always want to move. You will always want to improve. You will always continuously want to be better. Your focus will be insanely better. I used to not be able to do my homework assignments or ever focus on them long enough, and I would always put them off to the last minute. But the second I started taking this medicine, I took care of whatever it is I needed to right in the moment. I became insanely organized, and I believe you will too. It's more fun to clean now and do all those extra activities that you have to do that you really didn't want to do in the first place. It kind of makes it fun. It doesn't make it a chore anymore. To put it simply, your life will change for the better 100-fold if you truly have ADHD or ADD. All of those blocks you had that were stopping you will go away if you can deal with the side effects. I can truly say I love this medicine because it has changed me for the better. But, and a huge big fat but, be careful. I have seen way too many people go down the wrong path with this medicine. I had an old friend that completely lost herself in this medicine. She completely cut off everybody and stopped eating and lost a lot of weight. I had a close family member who took the medicine so much that he changed into a completely different person for the worse. He doesn't even make sense half the time, and he's pushed everyone away because of it. All I'm saying is just be careful. Be very careful with this medicine. While it can change some people's lives for the better, it can completely destroy others for the worse. I made this video so you can prepare for the side effects if you do know you're going to take it or if you are planning to take it in the future. Prepare and never stop preparing. If you take this medicine for the rest of your life, you can never let your guard down, not one day. Always be on top of it and take precaution. If you do have any of these side effects and they're starting to really affect you and you're noticing it over and over again, please contact your doctor. They're there to help you, I promise you. Anyways, thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I truly appreciate it. If you made it to the end, make sure you hit that like button. Comment something like, unicorn rainbows are cool, so I know you made it to the end. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. And if you are subscribed, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you that subscribes to my channel. I seriously can't thank you enough. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.